exactly know the kind of question your manager is just going to ask you in the next upcoming interview? Would be great. Obviously, I know we're not really good at just reading minds or providing an exact list of questions what your manager is going to ask you in the upcoming interview, but we're good at the second best thing, and that being providing you with a comprehensive list of all the questions which are most commonly asked in all kind of interviews, and not only the questions, but also the best solutions ever possible to all these questions. So what are you waiting for? Let's just get into the video. There's a reason behind keeping this question first, and that being, this question is mandatory in all kind of interviews. And the question being, why do you want to leave your current job? Let's start with what you can say. Don't talk about how your boss is difficult. Don't talk about how you can't get along with other employees. Altogether, don't badmouth your company. Instead, focus on the positives. Talk about what you want to achieve. Talk about what you want to learn. Talk about ways you want to grow, about things you want to accomplish. Explain how a move will be great for you and for your company. Explaining about your current employer is a little like people who gossip. If you're willing to speak badly of someone else, you'll probably do the same to me. Now here we have the second most asked question of all kind of interviews, and the question being, what are your biggest weaknesses? Every candidate knows how to answer this question. Just pick a theoretical weakness and magically transform that flaw into a strength in disguise. For example, my biggest weakness is getting so absorbed in my work that I lost all track of time. Every day I look up and realize everyone has gone home. I know I should be more aware of the clock, but when I love what I'm doing, I just can't think of anything else. A better approach is to choose an actual weakness, but one you're working on. Share what you're doing to work on that weakness. No one is perfect, but showing you're willing to honestly self-assess and then seek ways to improve that is the best way to impress anyone. Now here we have the question without which any interview would be absolutely incomplete. And the question being, what are your biggest strengths? I'm not sure why interviewer asked this question, because your resume and experience should make your strength readily apparent. Even so, if you're asked this question, provide a sharp, on-point answer. Be clear and precise. If you're a great problem solver, don't just say that. Provide a few examples pertinent to the opening that prove that you're a great problem solver. If you're an emotionally intelligent leader, don't just say that. Provide a few examples that prove you know how to answer the unasked questions. In short, don't just claim to have certain attributes. Prove you have those attributes. The next question can be, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Answers to this question go one of the two basic ways. Candidates try to show their incredible ambition by providing an extremely optimistic answer. I want your job. Or they try to show their humility by providing a meek, self-depreciating answer. There are so many talented people here, I just want to do a great job and see where my talents take me. The next question can be, out of all the candidates, why should we hire you? Since a candidate cannot compare himself with the people he doesn't know, all he can do is describe his incredible passion and desire and commitment. And well, basically you beg for the job. And of course, if you're asked this question, use it as a chance to highlight things you haven't been able to touch on. Describe everything which is so special in you, which makes you different from others. The next question can be, how did you learn about the opening? Job boards, channel postings, online listings, job fairs. Most people find their first job that way, so that's certainly not a red flag. But a candidate who continues to find each successive job from general postings probably hasn't figured out what he or she wants to do and where he or she just would like to do it. He or she is just looking for a job, often any job. So don't just explain
how you heard about the opening. Show that you heard about the opening through a colleague, a current employer, by following the company. Show that you know about the job because you want to work there. Employers don't want to hire people who just want a job. They want to hire people who want a job with their company. And the next question can be, why do you want this job? Now go deeper. Don't just talk about why the company will be great to work for. Talk about how the position is a perfect fit for what you hope to accomplish, both in short term and long term. If you don't know why the position is a perfect fit, look somewhere else. Because life is too short, buddy. Now here's the next question. What do you consider to be your biggest professional achievement? Here's an interview question that definitely requires an answer relevant to the job. If you say your biggest achievement was improving throughput by 18% in 6 months, but you're interviewing for a leadership role in human resources, the answer is interesting, but ultimately irrelevant. Instead, talk about an underperforming employee you rescued, or how overcame fighting between departments, or how so many of your direct reports have been promoted. The goal is to share achievement that let the interviewer imagine you in the position and see you succeeding. Now, the next question can be, tell me about the last time a coworker or a customer got angry with you. What actually happened? Conflict is unavoidable when a company works hard to get things done. Mistakes happen. Surely strengths come to the force, but weaknesses also rear their heads. And that's okay, because no one is perfect. But a person who tends to push the blame and the responsibility for rectifying the situation onto someone else is obviously a candidate to avoid. Hiring manager would rather choose candidates who focus not on blame, but on addressing and fixing the problem. Every business needs employees who willingly admit when they are wrong, step up to take ownership for fixing the problem, and most importantly, learn from the experience.